All right, everyone, and welcome back to the Shardbreaker podcast, episode 9. We went through chapters 35 through 39 this week. I am Midnight, the host of this podcast, and I'm here with Darkness
Hello.
and Mythic.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year! It's going to be probably like February by the time this episode actually comes out on like Spotify and stuff, but it's New Year for us literally today. So, yeah, so let's
Yay.
Yay! So things are starting to really get into the thick of
No,
things here in the book, so we're gonna go
Oh
straight
yeah.
into it.
I take my yay back.
You take your yay back? So yeah, so we start off with Vivenna, who is tied up and gagged in a dark room, and she notices Vasher standing on a balcony, and he moves over to her, pulling her head up by her hair, and stating that he still isn't sure if he's going to kill her. Vasher then cuts her hands free and grabs Nightblood and throws it on the ground. And as Vivenna wishes she had fled back to Idris a while ago, Vasher unclasps Nightblood's sheath and a wisp of black smoke curls up from the blade, causing Vivenna to feel a strange nausea. Vasher then drags the sword over to Vivenna and tells her to pick it up. She feels nausea again as she reaches toward the sword, but Vasher insists she picks it up. And then she gets to hear Nightblood speak to her, who says, "Hello, would you like to kill someone today?" And so yeah, my first question is, do you think this is how Nightblood normally greets people? When there's been obviously lots of people who have picked him up throughout this book so far. Is this how he always greets people?
Absolutely not.
No, you don't think
I,
so?
I mean, I feel like he might. I mean, it could be a split-second thing. So, and then,
I don't
but
think so.
depending on their choice, telepathically.
Were you gonna say
I
something,
do.
Darkness?
Yeah, go ahead, Darkness.
I don't think. I think. Well, my view on Vivenna and her possibly getting Nightblood
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
train. So I'm more headed in that direction
So you think
rather than
he thinks he just likes her?
yeah.
I mean, I feel like it could be that way, but I feel like the whole fact of Vivenna not wanting to touch the sword originally
Hmm.
kind of shows there's a different side than like it's not like she's going to touch it and immediately lose all of her breath or whatever whatever it was that he does end up killing herself.
Hmm. Um,
So I don't
yes. So,
Well, I was thinking more of like Vasher trying to see if the sword would accept her sort of thing.
yeah, so we'll get into that in a second, but he basically after she kind of like drops Nightblood and she like retches and cries in a corner, he like kind of seems like surprised. He's like, "Oh, okay."
Maybe I won't kill her.
Because I mean, we've seen in the past that when he's thrown Nightblood at people and they touch him, some like when the servants in Mercy Star's palace, some people run away and some people decide that they want to start taking the sword and murdering people with it.
know. And I feel like that's what I'm saying. Like I think as soon as they pick it up and telepathically hear the voice and then think to themselves, "Yeah, I want to murder such and such. I want to murder the person Vasher who's standing right in front of
Maybe
me."
maybe that's what they mean by like not pure of heart.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, do you think this means that Vivenna's pure of heart because she does not like Nightblood?
I mean, I already knew she was pure of heart.
I mean, her last chapter with Parlin and the whole like "you've always been mean to me" kind of thing. I mean, she probably does. Parlin doesn't really think she's necessarily pure of heart. And she doesn't. She was like contemplating her life before Vasher kidnapped her.
I
Well,
mean,
we'll find out what he thinks in a couple of chapters, right?
oh my gosh.
Actually, I think we find out what he thinks of this chapter. um, but yeah. So then,
I
yeah,
forgot it was the first one.
yes, the
Yeah.
first chapter. So yeah, Vivenna drops Nightblood, Regis cries and huddles in a corner. Vasher clasps Nightblood's sheath again and throws a towel over her puke. Vasher then states they're in the slums and no one will hear her if she screams, except for him, who's going to be annoyed. Um, Vasher then gags her, ties her hands, and brings her to a new room where he ties her hands to a doorknob. And then he leaves. I believe he says he has like work to do that like because of her. And he leaves her alone after telling her he'll kill her if she tries to run. And so yeah, but she cries for about an hour and contemplates how Denth had feared Vasher and that rescue seemed unlikely. She then thinks back to what her tutors taught her about what to do if kidnapped. She was taught to try to flee early, as they will starve and beat her, and that death is preferable to staying a hostage. So yeah, any thoughts on the blunt tutoring that Vivenna got regarding being kidnapped?
To be fair, it's not like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it honestly
Like
makes sense. It's
Right?
very. I'm kind of curious what age they taught her that, because I'm like that fuck you up if you're like a young kid and they're telling you that.
they would
Yeah,
have
I
to
mean,
teach very early though.
Yeah, you would.
you would have to, yeah.
It's just it's kind of a fucked up situation, but yeah, I guess if you're a princess, it's like yeah, people are gonna hold you hostage, and you need to like just not. We can't let people like hold the whole country hostage because of one person.
Mm-hmm.
So just like
Hmm?
like escape or die trying, you know.
Yeah, pretty
Is
much
essentially
like
what yeah.
a quick death is preferable to a long drawn out one, or them like
Mm-hmm.
having to like potentially like your dad giving in or something to them. But yeah, so Vivenna tries to wiggle her hands out of the ropes, but they just cut into her skin. She then slowly works her gag free so that she can try to command the ropes to untie themselves with awakening. And after a couple attempts, Vivenna is able to get the ropes to obey her, and she quickly unties her ankles before running out of the house and into the street. And then we time skip a bit as Vivenna wanders aimlessly, unsure where she is, and she keeps the rope in, I think she has like a hidden pocket in her skirt because she doesn't know how to reclaim the breasts within the rope. I think she may know at one point that she's like, I should have been told how to do this, but I don't remember.
What if she eats the rope?
I don't know if eating the
Mm.
rope would give you the breasts back. I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
It would have been funny if she tried it though.
I think then she would just have breath infused poop later that she would have to try and get the breasts back from.
Yeah, it'd be awkward carrying your feces around.
Yeah. Um. Anyways,
It does make me wonder though of not the feces thing, but the taking breath back thing.
mhm.
If Vasher decided to immune something with breath, could a better awakener possibly take that breath from that object,
I
or is
don't
it
know.
simply for just the awakener that did
That's
it?
what I was. That's what I was wondering too. Because if you could do that,
Yeah.
I mean,
Because you
I
could give
mean,
then because we're back on the same topic of like she could just put one breath into multiple objects and then hand them to people and they could just take it.
because
But
I mean, as far as we know, like the whole thing with the breasts is you can't take them forcefully, and I'm assuming if
hmm
like you're awakening objects and people could just take your breath from awakened objects, that would be like you wouldn't ever awaken things then. Like if you're
here's the
fighting
thing,
another
right? Here's the thing.
awakener,
You say you can't take them forcibly,
to,
okay? But I'm pretty sure, especially later, it, somebody tries to take it forcefully.
well, I mean, you can try and like torture people into doing it, but like they have to specifically say the words to like give you
Yes,
breath.
but
So
they
like
still can be forced to
to
do
be
it.
I'm
I
fair,
just saying
mean,
like you can't take breaths from
yeah,
people. They have
yeah.
to
You
give
can't
it to
just
you.
remove it. Yeah, you can't just
Yeah.
steal breath out of
And
somebody.
so as
Yeah.
far as we know about the magic system, I don't think you could take someone else could take your breath from an awakened object.
but the thing is, we're talking about like inanimate, like not like alive objects, you
But
know.
yeah, but what I was gonna go into there is like say you like Vasher how he uses like his cloak to like make his hands or like his pants to make his legs stronger. I feel like if then you fight another awakener like why you wouldn't want to do that stuff because then they could just touch your pants and take the breath from them. So I feel like that wouldn't. I don't feel like that's a thing, and we haven't seen that that's a thing.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like it would put a whole new element on it,
They're they're fighting and they're just like slapping each other's cloaks.
or they're just taking each other's breath from each other, until one
They're essentially
eventually
kissing.
leaves.
Okay.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
You're really shipping that Vasher and Vivenna, ain't you?
Oh gosh.
Way
Pretty sure
I mean,
Vasher's
at this point.
probably like supposed to be in like
older.
his 30s or 40s or something.
So I've seen so many different age gaps.
Honestly,
I mean, Caesar Bronson in his 50s, I guess technically, even though he ages
50s?
slower. Well, he's 50 years
Yeah.
old. they say at
but
one point.
50s? I don't know. This man looks like he in 20s.
Yeah, he looks like he's in his 20s because they age slower.
Yep.
Or just, actually, I think he just probably stopped aging when he hit maturity, like the returned gods, probably.
Yeah.
Um,
God, they would have to like force me to give my breath away if I was a god. I'd have so much fun with it.
but anyways, going back to the story.
Yeah, going back to
Yeah, so she's carrying the rope around with her because she doesn't know how to get the breath back. After a while, she recognizes a statue that had been noted for directions to get to a restaurant she had visited previously. And she eventually finds the safe house and goes into the cellar to seek a place to hide. And yeah, she makes sure that she doesn't hit the broken steps. And she notes that there are some small game carcasses hung on the walls. And she thinks
Oh
some
yeah.
people have been there recently because of that. We'll get into that. And she's like, "Oh, they must have been here recently. Some of these look new, fresher." And then she rounds the stairs and sees Parlin, arms tied behind his back, ankles bound to the legs of a chair, dead. And suddenly a hand lands on her shoulder, and Tonk Fa is there.
She recognizes the stuff first though. She
No, she
recognizes
recognizes
the
them after.
animals.
She
Does
recognizes them
she?
after. Yeah, it's Parlin first, then Tonk Fa, and then she notices that it
Oh,
isn't game
okay.
animals on the wall, but a dead parrot, monkey, and a large lizard that had been sliced, cut, and tortured.
Mm-hmm.
So we've learned
Okay.
what his next pet was, a large lizard! Yay, no one guessed
Yeah,
it!
but apparently it doesn't matter because it was dead.
Yes. So
So
yeah, I got a
technically, you need to guess his next one. No,
Oh yeah, you're
So
right. It
yeah,
does.
so I've
Okay.
got a few questions because this is like you finally go from like, okay, she's escaping kidnapped, great, she found a safe house, awesome, she's gonna find her group. Oh no, Parlin's dead and they're all evil.
Yeah.
So yeah, what were your first thoughts when you read that Parlin was dead?
uh,
Go ahead, darkness.
so up to what point? Like
Right
literally,
when you
Like
found out
literally
he
when
was
you read
dead.
it, like like she's like, oh shit, Parlin's tied up to this chair, he's dead. Like what the
Yeah.
fuck was your reaction?
I was like, oh fuck, what happened? I didn't know who killed him, right? Because
I
I was
assumed
curious.
Vasher.
You assumed Vasher Mythic?
Yep. I assumed Vasher because he said he had to do some things or whatever, and I was like,
Mm.
oh, so he got here before her, murdered him, and maybe she'll find the other bodies of all the other people,
I
you
didn't even
know,
think of
then
Asher.
and then. Yeah. Because you're so hell bent on Vasher.
Yeah. And I
It's
don't
okay
think I
though.
put it into my notes, but we find out in one of the later chapters that also his cheeks have been sliced open. Like
Yep.
he's been like
Yeah, yeah.
tortured.
Wasn't that, I thought that was this chapter.
No, it's one of the other chapters she thinks
Oh.
back on it where she's like
Oh.
keeps him seeing Parlin dead on that chair and his cheeks sliced open so you could see the inside of his mouth.
Yeah. I definitely
Like
remember that. That
You
was
see, it's because the thing when I read that, I was like, fuck no, and I just started fucking speed reading all of it. So yeah, so it was like as soon as I saw it, it was like revving my engine, just fucking going through it all.
yeah, so a lot of people say that the technically the Sanderlanche happens later. I would say this chapter is pretty much the start of like, oh shit, nothing is what you thought it was.
Mm.
Like this is a huge revelation, like
So
big
what you're
fucking
saying
thing.
is, we're gonna get to a point where it's gonna be Susebron's actually a really bad guy, and his priests are actually the good people. Uh, Lightsong is actually, not stupid enough, and he's gonna like show up in the court and be like, "You're all dumb. I'm the leader now, and we're gonna go to war." Actually, she had all all the words, but I stole them from.
What if what if he's
Yeah, like
actually manipulating Blush Weaver into getting all the
exactly.
fucking
Oh my god.
things and then
Yeah,
just
and he's
fucking
gonna steal them
using it?
all from her.
Yeah.
But yeah, so one
And
of
then
my
Blush Weaver's actually
Oh,
peaceful though.
mm-hmm.
other question for this section was, are you surprised to find Tonk Fuzz pets tortured and dead? I think at one point you guys said like he accidentally kills
Yes,
them. But are you surprised that he
something to that extent,
tortures
but
them? Like he's
yeah, no, I
obviously
didn't
some sort
expect
of
him to torture him.
psychopath who's like
Yeah.
he's like super fucked up.
Oh yeah.
I I
I'll be right
expected
back
them
while darkness is talking.
Okay.
I expected them dead, but I didn't expect them tortured.
Tortured like hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
He's
Like
just Because I think
Yeah, I
when you said they did, you said like, oh, he doesn't know his own strength and he accidentally does something, but it's
he seems like he knows his own strength and he knows what he's doing.
yeah, he knows
So
exactly what he's doing, and he's obviously done a very similar thing to Parlin here. Poor,
as
poor
as soon as she
Parlin.
recognized the animals, that's when my anxiety spiked, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like
Yeah, because you
this
said
is
you
it.
thought, yeah, because you were like, I don't know what happened, and then you're like, oh no, the animals, and Tonkfa is suddenly there.
Yeah, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, well, they're all gonna fucking kill her too," you know.
Yeah, so I guess I'll ask you the next question first. While we wait for Mythicas. How has your opinion of Tonkfa changed with this new information?
I literally hate them all. I hate them all.
All of them?
I I I was so angry and upset that I literally wanted to stop reading.
Because you guys loved Denth, especially, and like the whole group.
I think
Uh,
out of all of it, I was more upset that like that what's his name? I don't. We're not there yet, but like that Claude got put into this mess.
yeah, because you had said that was it you that said or Mythic that said you thought it might be our steel, Claude? One of you said that.
Mythic had that idea, but I just have like that emotional connection with Claude.
Yeah. Cause I was gonna be like, if it was like their friend, do you think he was also like them, or do you think he'd be like horrified to know what they're doing with him if that is him?
I think he would be horrified in my opinion,
Yeah.
because like who would want to be used like that? To
Because
be
we've had in
fair,
previous chapters, remember, where Dent has said that he, I think he said he used to, because Vivanna's like, oh, you're a good man. He's like, no, I'm not. I used to be, but I'm not.
yeah, I remembered that specifically when I saw
Yeah.
like everything that was happening right here.
He told her multiple times, I'm not a good person. People don't trust mercenaries.
That's so annoying because that's logic I would use just to fucking betray someone, you know?
Oh, yeah, we gotta wait for Mythic to come back, and I'll ask him the question about Tonkfa in a second. But yeah,
He
it
also said he
was.
has a lot to say for
Oh,
Claude, by the way. Oh.
Okie dokie, I'm back.
all right.
I had a lot to say on this too, by the way.
Yeah. So what do you? What's your opinion? Has your opinion of Tonkfa changed with all this new
Uh,
information about him?
yes and no. So when Tokfa was saying about the bad guy thing that you just touched on, I was actually gonna say that, but unfortunately I had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
But like, I picked up that something was amiss because the first thing that kind of tipped me off when he said that second, what's his name? Arsteel
Mhm.
couldn't have been defeated by Vasher, and then I'm not a good man. Kind of started pushing me into this, like maybe that he didn't like him, and he tried to blame Vasher,
Mm.
and maybe Vasher and Arsteel actually had like a alliance against them at some point, and they figured it out. They killed Arsteel, tried to kill Vasher, couldn't. Um, And then the other thing that I thought about was that the reason he doesn't like uh, Nightblood is because he had once took hold of Nightblood and realized that it was doing whatever, and he doesn't like it because he knows what's going to happen to him if he touches it again.
Yeah, like you think maybe like he's not pure of heart and it will take hold of him and make
Yeah,
him like the other people who have all like killed
yeah,
people and killed themselves with
He's somewhat
Nightblood.
yeah. And that kind of goes into that whole thing of where I said I think it's Arsteel is Claude, because I feel like maybe Jules actually liked Arsteel,
Mm.
wanted Arsteel to stay around, so got somebody to reanimate him. Denth and Tonkfa don't really like Arsteel, so they're saying things like, that's why they don't treat Claude as like a fellow, person anymore,
Mhm.
because they're no longer they didn't like him in the first place, kind of idea.
I
Mhm.
was thinking, what if they killed him? You know, like
That's what I'm thinking too. I think Dent killed Arsteel.
yeah,
At least
that makes
at this
so
point,
much
I
sense.
definitely it definitely feels like that might be a high possibility.
I see. I see.
Because I mean, what's the best way to do it would be to, if you're telling the person, basically her savior is actually Vasher. If that's what their theory is, that Vasher's still out there. Vasher might come and try to save her because he knows who we are. The best way to do it would be to plant the seed that Vasher's actually the bad guy. And so, easy way to do it. Oh well, we had a buddy named Arsteel, and Vasher killed him, even though they killed him, and she's gonna believe them because there's only one side of the story.
Mm-hmm.
I wish she would have asked Vasher while he was there. That would have.
I mean, he
been
wasn't really
interesting.
into giving her information. He didn't really
True, but
trust her
I still
either.
think she should have asked.
And Death being a bad guy, right?
Hmm?
What kind of makes sense for the theory that I had, where he's the one that followed Vasher into that one place?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
killed those guards. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you thought he followed Vasher into Mercy Star's palace. He
yep.
was the
Yeah,
one
it
who
does
followed her
keep saying
behind.
it does state that he leaves every so often too. In one of the chapters, it did say that he'd left and hadn't been back for a bit or something.
Yeah, I think the day that they like knocked over that carriage, like broke the
Mm-hmm.
horse's leg and like set fire to the one building.
I
Yeah,
don't
him.
feel like that was that far away from that either. That scenario when Vasher went in there.
It might
So.
not have been. I don't remember the exact timeline where that was,
Mm-hmm.
but it may have been potentially the same night. Do not remember. I'd have to look back for that. But yeah, she runs into Tongfa, realizes what's happening, and she quickly tries to run out of the cellar and away from Tongfa, but she runs into Denth.
Stops. Yep.
He states that what he hates the most about being a mercenary is that everyone assumes they can't trust you, and they really can't. And Tongfa states that they do what they're paid to do. Denson
Mm-hmm.
asks why she ran away, and Jules and Claude also show up. I believe at the top of the stairs. So yeah, so they're saying they do what they're paid to do. So do you think Dent and his crew are working for someone else? Are they actually
Yes.
mercenaries? And if so, who?
Hmm.
Well, to be fair, they do seem to take their like money over like anything else. Sort of like gotta do it for the job. Sort of like mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. So I'm guessing, yeah, there's like someone who's paying them like hell of a lot of money, or like
Yeah.
something they really want, in order to like you know
Yeah,
keep
because
I
I mean,
had
trust
a,
them.
Vivenna
I
has
had a
noted in the
thought of
past
big
that
brain.
Flamex wasn't paying them that much. She thought it
Yeah,
was because they're
I
doing
have
it because they believed in it and like they're good people. But
hmm I have a big brain theory, but it's
hmm?
probably not going to be true. Uh, fuck, what's her Blushweaver? I think it's Blushweaver.
You think Blushweaver's paying them?
Yeah, just the thought that kind of occurred to me was she made the comment to her sister to Siri that about another princess being in the uh, city,
Yeah.
and it didn't seem like it seemed like other people might have known that, but she seemed much more confident about knowing it
Mm.
to some semblance, and so it makes me feel like maybe she actually has like a thing about it, and maybe um, those tunnel systems. Maybe he goes in through those tunnel systems, to meet with her like Dent does.
Mm.
Because she did make the comment that like she did connect her tunnels to other people's too.
She said she
So
did not connect
yeah,
them.
she didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking, this is another like out of like the way,
out
probably
of left field.
like probably nowhere near right, but you what's that one priest name? The one
Bluefinger.
that has the Chilides thing?
Oh,
Var
Veritrelides is
Yep.
Dent's other name. Trelides is
Yeah.
the other guy.
There's
No,
Trelides, who
but
is
like,
one of Susebron, I think
yeah,
head priest of Susebron, and then there's Vara Trelides, who is the other name for Denth.
yeah. I'm like thinking about like what if they're connected, you know?
Possibly.
I mean, I
Because
think at one point said they were the same person.
Same person.
yeah, but like, but like, what if they're connected? Because fuck, I don't know if I want to say it, because it gets brought up in the light song chapter.
I mean, we can wait on the
Oh
light song
yeah,
chapter if
true.
you
Kind
want.
of. Yeah. I
Okay,
kind of know
let me
where you're
just say
going with
that
it.
I think they're connected in some way. Okay,
Okay, we'll come back
that's
to
it.
it. All
Yeah.
right,
Yep.
so yeah, so Denth then goes into saying how kidnapping is better if the subject never knows that they've been kidnapped. Denth also
Mm-hmm.
states that they poisoned the mechs and that someone with so much breath can't die from sickness. Dent says that Parlin's death was an accident and asks what made her suspect them and that Parlin had insisted not to know where she had gone. He also mentions that there had been agents of her father's around when she entered the city.
That's
So,
what I was
yeah, we're gonna get into
into.
the agents of the city in a
Yeah.
minute, but first of all, did you ever catch on to the fact that someone with the amount of breast Lemex had couldn't get sick? 'Cause I do believe Dent at some point in the past brings that up to Vivenna that she won't get sick because of all the breasts she has.
I mean, we also know that, like, well, I guess technically it's never stated about the gods because of their breasts they don't get sick. It's just they're gods; they don't get sick. So, I mean, but yeah, I do feel like you're right. I feel like Dent did at some point say that.
Yeah, so yeah, there was a little clue there, like
Yeah.
Lemex couldn't have died the way he died.
Bruh.
hmm
They poisoned him. Um, and then yeah, does
But why didn't he like? I guess he wouldn't have known then. Maybe.
pardon?
Hmm. Well,
Like,
I
why did
feel
he say
like,
something?
yeah. Why didn't he say anything to her?
I feel like it's like one of those like poisons
Maybe
that
he
is
didn't
like it
know.
leaves you like delirious and stuff. So
Yeah, maybe
He
he
was
didn't
pretty
know.
fucking out of it.
Yeah. I mean, he was apparently smart enough to give his breath to, not them.
Yeah, they were probably wanting him to potentially.
Well, yeah, apparently later they do. That's the other part that I got confused about.
Yeah. So, anyways, also, does learning that Vivenna's father actually sent men out to Helandrin to look for Vivenna change your views on her father at all? Because there was the whole thing that we went into previously where it was
No.
like, he hasn't sent anyone, he doesn't care, but he's been sending people. He's been trying to, like,
Yeah.
figure out what the fuck is happening with Vivenna and, like, what's going on. He's been sending, like,
It, it-
a bunch of people out.
yeah, it slightly changed my opinion of her father. I still don't like him,
I know
but
you still have a
it's
lot
like,
of issues with him, but I feel
yeah.
like
But
it is
like,
a
yeah.
redeeming quality here that we learned that he wasn't
Yeah.
just like, well,
Until
both my daughters
until
are gone
something
now.
comes up. Exactly. Until something comes up that it like nullifies the reason he actually sent Siri there. Like if he had a actual strategic thing for it, not just, oh, my sister or my daughter Vivenna would be better suited here, and I'll let my troubled daughter to go marry Susabran.
Yeah.
Like
uh
unless there's a like concrete reason other than just basically it seeming like you're just trying to get rid of your trouble daughter. I think that's the only real thing that I have a problem with on him
Yes.
anymore.
He's definitely
But
played
like,
favorites, but
yeah,
it does seem like
yeah.
and I mean, he has agents in the city. It does seem like he possibly would have been keeping an eye on Siri through his, like, Lemex and other people. But,
Mm-hmm.
like,
I mean, Lemex is dead, so
I mean, originally, before Lemex got killed, like, I'm assuming he's had people in the city, which is, like, why Vivenna wanted to connect with them, who were, like, going to keep an
hmm
eye out on what was happening once he sent originally Vivenna and then Siri there. So, like, he had some stuff in place, but he still played favorites, which is not
yeah.
not a great
Maybe.
quality.
But yeah, it definitely made me second guess because when he said that he's taking out her father's agents, I was like, oh shit, he actually is sending people. That
Yeah.
makes more sense. Like,
And
why they just weren't there?
yeah, I think they've mentioned I think actually the next thing after this, they mentioned how, like, these two bodies must have been fresher. Like, there's, I
hmm
think, two bags, two bodies here, and so, like,
Yeah,
but they've not been here for, like, a long time because the place would, like, stink and be
yeah, would have
disgusting.
stunk. Yeah.
So, like, who knows? Like, she's been here for, like, a couple months. Like, who knows how many people they've killed to keep
A lot.
them from finding Vivenna.
hmm and it also goes on my theory that they set up the whole slumlord thing.
you
Yeah,
know uh my opinion for like that one dude, the
yeah.
one that rules the other kingdom. Um, I didn't really like look into him when I found out like that he was like sending people. Like I didn't like think much of it.
Hmm.
I thought more like that king doesn't fucking show up. Like if none of the men they sent or like none of the people they sent could even like get to her at any point, then that speaks a lot about their power. You know what I mean?
Dent
Yeah.
in them, yeah. I mean, we've Dent is apparently very good.
Yeah, we've learned
So.
a lot that Denth is, like, very good, and that there's, like, I mean, we don't know if it was all Denth doing it. Like, they have Jules, they have Tong Fa. I mean, they've been
hmm
shown to hire bandits and thieves for all these other jobs they've been
They
doing.
might as well just win the war themselves. You know?
Pretty much. That's why it makes me feel like it might be Blushweaver.
Yeah, I
She's
mean, Mythic
so
thinks
hell
that
bent
they're
on that a
highly
war's
involved.
happening. Yeah.
Um,
Wouldn't be that hard for her to be like, "Hey, priest, go talk to this specific person,"
go,
or
go get me the
and
best
then
mercenary in the city.
yep, exactly.
She's got contacts. I
She
mean, she
has
even says
stated
she has
that
con. She
numerous
tells
times.
people she has
Yep,
contacts. She's like, I've
yep,
got
she
people.
stated that numerous times.
Hmm?
Mm-hmm. I said, yeah, she stated that numerous times.
Yep. But yeah, so that's when actually Vivenna notices the large sacks with the foot hanging out. Her father had sent people to recover her, but Denth and his crew had killed them before they contacted her. And then Vivenna tries to awaken Tonkva's cloak, but Dent slaps a hand over her mouth before she can finish a command. As he's holding her, Dent notices the blood on Vivenna's wrists and realizes she hadn't run from him. So he's like,
Uh,
oh shit, we killed
also,
Parlin for nothing.
I have
Vasher got
something
to
else
her.
in my I have something else in my notes, by the way.
Yep.
Um, Dent, when he was questioning her about like who contacted and all that stuff, he asked specifically, "What did you tell the slumlords about me?"
Oh, did I miss that?
Yeah, yeah,
I
Yeah,
for
didn't
sure.
miss
I
and
looked
that.
I
at that
was
too, and I was
like,
like, oh,
so he's scared of these slumlords now, like something he did to them, or that they know him, because it started pointing to me the fact that like they weren't there. She was there talking to these people. Death shows up later, all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I put that in my notes too.
Oh yeah, he does say, yeah. Who did you what did you tell the slum? I must have skipped over that sentence there.
Hmm.
What did you tell the slumlords about me? So obviously, yeah, he's been in contact with the slumlords, and something's changed. They're obviously said something to him, or done something, or avoiding him.
Yep. This is important, princess.
Yeah, so I'm assuming he must have gone to them, being like, "Did she come to you guys? Where did she go? Like, did she go to the Idrians?"
Yeah.
When they were looking for her. But yeah, so they yeah, Denth realizes that they probably killed Parlin for no reason. Parlin was not involved because she got kidnapped by Vasher, and he's like, oh fuck, we could have kept this going for a while. So one of my main
Hmm.
questions was, what do you think would have happened if they had realized from the start that Vasher had kidnapped her? When do you think that we would have found out about their true natures?
Way later, probably when she's like done whatever they need, because her plan isn't really set in stone yet. That for us to know.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Parlin though. Right when he was starting to get
I do
character
too.
development, they killed him off.
I mean, like I said, I it kind of ruined the ship that I had because I was hoping that I didn't really care enough for Vivenna to be with him. But I think that it seemed the way they were setting it up, it seemed a lot like Jules kind of needed
Well, Jules obviously
Parlin,
didn't
and
care. She was happy to let Tonkva
apparently not.
torture and kill him, so
Yeah, well,
she
as I'm saying,
obviously
but
didn't give a
like
fuck about
before,
him.
yeah, I was talking about like in before. Like it seemed like while she didn't seem like she liked him that much, it still seemed like I feel like she kind of needed it, like somebody there that wasn't just an asshole, or in her eyes, an asshole to her. Um,
Hmm.
like I felt like, and I definitely felt like Parlin definitely needed it, but I mean, he definitely didn't need to be tortured.
No.
Poor puppy, they put him down like Lassie.
No. No. Poor Parlin. Yeah, Douglas, did you have any thoughts about what would have happened if they had realized that Vasher had kidnapped her instead of assuming she had learned things and run off?
they probably would have used that to like make him seem like even more of a bad guy, you know?
Oh yeah. I mean, he doesn't really come off as a good guy during their interaction there. But then again, if he knows about Denth and all their true nature and he's seen her hanging around with them, he probably doesn't have that great of an opinion of her.
Yeah, and I mean, she knows he could have killed her if he wanted to. So
I mean, he said he was still contemplating it.
yeah.
He was like, I still haven't decided. Stay here. I got shit I need to do.
Either way, I don't think either one of them, like either group, wants to like kill her. So yeah,
Yeah, they want her for something.
one of them wants to keep him hostage, and then the other one also wants to keep him hostage. So
Yeah. Man.
Yeah. So then we go into Denth then tries to make Vivenna give him her breath, but instead she looks at Claude and states, Howl of the Sun, attack Denth, Howl of the Sun. So yeah, she'd stored that little command, and
Hmm.
yeah, Claude goes and attacks Denth, who has to struggle with him, and angrily shouts at Jules that she let Vivenna hear the security phrase. And Jules' foot breaks through one of the broken steps, and Vivenna is able to rush out of the cellar, latches it shut behind her, and then goes out onto the street.
hold on. So you remember when they covered her mouth?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They said that like I don't know. I think they noticed something about like the breath still leaving her regardless and going
Yeah, so
into the
she has
cloak.
started giving a command, and her breath does go into Tonkfa's cloak, and I believe
Yep.
something turns gray. So she lost those breaths. Those breaths are
The
never.
dress.
Hmm?
I think the dress lost color,
Yeah, so she has breaths now in Tonkfa's cloak that she does not know how to recover, just like the rope.
which pisses me off. By the way, like that's a waste of breath. But
Yeah, but I mean,
if you think about it, if he uses that same cloak and she just gives a command, he's kind of fucked.
Yeah, I don't know if she can like now give it a command or if she has to take them back and then reuse them. I'm not really sure how it works when you kind of fuck it up like that. Yeah, don't
Cool.
be bringing that
Anyway,
cloak around around her.
anyways,
Did you say mythic?
it's like a.
uh, good.
Uh-huh.
Darkness.
No, forget it. It was just a joke. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I found it very interesting because Denth tells her, or was basically trying to force her to say the words to give somebody breath. And I'm wondering why he didn't just do that when she was stating it in general, that she was just gonna give the breath away. Because
Right?
this woman
Like
had no idea what it meant to give her breath away.
she,
So
she
she
even
could have just
offered it.
given it away. Yeah, she could have just given it away. Like, I feel like, in all honesty, another one of those like red string bulletin board things. The theories. I feel like they want to give the breaths to Jules because she is a drab. In some way,
I thought that they mentioned how they like her being a drab because she's like able to like sneak
they
around without
did,
being noticed by
but
the
they
light
also
That's
stuff.
what
lied about. They also lied about a lot of things. So.
That's true.
I
and
can't say
and
what
we
I want
find
to
out yeah, and we find out later that, I mean, I might say what you're about to say anyways, but they find out later that technically somehow she notices later that she didn't notice them show up.
Yeah.
So like, they obviously know how to do this. They're awakeners. Maybe, they lied about it. They could easily make it look like she's a drab again. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, Vivenna herself figures out how to basically make herself a
Yes,
drab and
yeah,
do that later.
later, yeah.
And I think
Hmm.
her.
which is exactly what I wanted to say.
Yeah. So that
Yeah,
she figured out how you kind of like sneak around while having breath at the same time, which is probably also how Vasher does it a lot of the time. Because he also, although he's not good at sneaking, he's like getting into people's palaces and stuff.
exactly.
So yeah, there are ways to hide that you have a fuck ton of breath.
I
But
do
yeah, so
find it funny. I do find it funny when she's running away. Jules scrambles or falls and scrambles up the stairs.
it's,
I was like, man, you're a real good mercenary over here. You really know your things.
I think she's just surprised and like Denth is yelling at her and she's
Mhm.
like, "Ah, shit, what the fuck?"
Yep. Just yeah, I thought that was
Um,
pretty funny.
yep. So yeah, so then chapter 36, we're with Ciri and Susebron. Much more lighthearted chapter after that.
Oh yeah, much
There's
later.
Susebron is sitting on the floor with pillows behind his back, and Ciri is on the bed. And Susebron is insisting he won't leave Ciri and states he isn't even sure how to get an heir, as Ciri won't explain it to him. And also, he cannot give away his breath due to him not having a tongue. He states that he won't suddenly decide to kill himself, especially now that he's finally discovering how to write and also has discovered Ciri. Very flirty chapter. Kind of.
Oh yeah, oh
Uh,
yeah, oh yeah.
yeah,
Especially when he asked her to grow her hair.
yeah.
I was like, dude,
They're very
you don't
flirty.
know what flirting is, but you're doing it.
He's trying. But yeah, so Ciri notes that she still doesn't understand why Susebron is so loyal to his priests. And Ciri
Mm,
tries to explain what being flirtatious is before growing her hair long and red as requested by Susebron. She then tries to
yeah,
give him a seductive look, but ends up laughing. And Susebron notes he knows the word seductress and thinks of a story about an evil queen trying to tempt a young prince, and he thinks it's about food, trying to tempt him with food. And then
and
Ciri gives
then
like a really
yeah,
sarcastic response, and he's like, "Oh,
it's not
I
about food,
guess
is it?
it's not about food." His only thought was, "Oh, she must be offering him food." God damn it, Susafran. Um,
I mean, he's a child, in like mind at least.
Yeah. And so Susebron then says he doesn't understand things well, and Siri says Susebron understands her better than anyone, as everyone else wanted her to be like Vivenna. Susebron notes that Vivenna
Oh,
sounds very boring.
yeah, yeah, right. I also note that technically she's starting to call him nicknames and shit like Seb.
Yeah, oh, did she call him Sub there? Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's like good interpretation there, Seb.
Yeah, so she
Completely
has like
right.
little
And then he
nicknames
says
and
she
stuff
wasn't
for
offering
him.
food, was she? Yeah,
It's cute.
I like that. It's a
They're
very
adorable.
adorable.
I love them.
Yep, very
They're probably
adorable.
Huh?
huh?
They're probably gonna die. Yeah, I know, right?
um,
Now, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. And once again, I do not want this to happen. I really don't think it's gonna happen. What do you think would happen later in the chapter if, for some reason, somebody happens to kill Siri, as Susebron is now kind of liking her? Maybe he'll gain his, like, I don't know, grow a tongue all of a sudden.
you gonna be
Or
pissed.
yeah, or
Becomes
learn
venom.
how to use like awakener powers without a tongue. I mean, it would be very interesting to see.
Wasn't
Mhm.
that like supposed to be like? Never mind. Forget it. I was gonna
What
say,
was
wasn't
that?
that supposed to be like part of his like?
You're supposed to be able to do wordless commands, yeah, I think, but he
Hmm.
doesn't know how to.
Okay, yeah, you
Yeah,
got that out of my brain because I couldn't word it correctly. I was like,
yeah, he's not.
fuck.
He's not. Yeah, he's not versed in stuff like that.
Yeah,
It
I'm
doesn't
sure
seem like
they
anybody's teaching him
specifically kept
anything.
him away from learning how to be Awakener.
Yeah, because that exact same scenario that I was just talking about.
Yeah.
Like
Um.
he is a very power. He would be a very powerful awakener.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so then Susebron says he doesn't understand things. We went to that. Yeah, he says Venice sounds boring, and Susebron
Yeah.
states that Siri is colorful on the inside and more honest than Biochroma. And after a bit,
Mhm.
Siri's stomach grumbles, and Susebron learns that growing her hair makes her hungry. He's like, "Wait, but I've been asking you to do this like every fucking night. What do you mean it makes you hungry?" Poor guy. He's
Yeah.
he's like, "Wait. That's not okay." And so, yeah, he gets
And then he goes to get food. She's really hesitant about it. It's
yeah,
so.
he has to mess up his outfit and hair, which he doesn't understand why. 'Cause she's like, you can't go out like
Mhm.
Oh,
fully dressed. I think she like
I was
removes.
actually, I was actually wondering how loud she laughed. I wish I knew because that would like scare the fuck out of me if I was like in
Listening.
that situation.
Oh,
Like, why are you laughing when there's probably people still there?
well, we
You
know
know,
there's
Like
people just outside. Like he opens the door and there's servants there waiting.
with
right?
food.
Well, no, they don't. They get the food within a
I
couple
know.
minutes.
I know, but
With food, just like up
the way
against.
the way that she says it later, it seems almost as if it's like he opens the door, says, "Hey, I want food," and they just hand him food.
Yeah, no. So yeah, he opens the door, asks for food, but I think he like points at like his stomach and then points for them to
Yeah,
like
because he can't
leave.
talk.
And so yeah,
Yeah,
like a
he
few
like
minutes later, they have a table, a single chair. They don't get a chair for Siri. They're like, no, just for
Yep.
Susebron. They get
Yeah,
a
because he's the one that's hungry.
yeah. So they got a table, a chair, and then a large amount of food that must have been waiting in the kitchens because of how quickly they brought it up.
Yeah.
So apparently they just have like food ready 24/7 in case that he wants something.
hmm
I have this feeling like they got awakeners in the kitchen that are just like, Beauty and the Beast style, making these fucking plates move,
cook
and
yourself.
That would
You
be
know,
yeah, like here,
amazing.
cook an entire meal for me right now. Like,
Fry
god dang.
steak,
Or
chop
or like
potato.
tools to build furniture and stuff, and they're like, just build my furniture.
Assemble.
build yourself.
Yeah,
Assemble. It's like
exactly.
IKEA furniture, and you just say assemble.
Yep. Yeah, crazy.
That'd be funny as fuck though. It would make sense,
That'd be
but
hilarious. Um, but yeah, so yeah, they have that. Because there's only one chair, Siri sets a blanket on the floor, and they basically have like a little nice picnic on the floor. Very cute. I think
Mhm.
Susebron says that it's weird to be sitting on the floor eating.
it's a
Yeah,
first date.
it is their first date,
And so yeah, so
kind
they
of.
have I think he mentions how like he basically like they will like dab at his face with napkins. Like he's not allowed to like clean his own face, and like he's only allowed to take a couple bites of each dish, even if he likes it before they take it away. And like apparently when he was younger, before he like basically was like really insistent they don't, they used to like feed him. Like someone feeding a toddler, and he just
I hate the fact. I hate it. I hate the fact that they wouldn't let him finish his plate.
right. He's like, I love this thing. They're like, no, you've had 3 bites. Time for it to go. He's like,
Oh,
no,
I
it's
know,
my
right?
favorite. So yeah, so basically, Siri is like stuffing her face with food because she's like, I could be more refined about this, but nah, I'm fucking starving.
Just to back up,
So
a hair. When before he changed the whole hair change thing, or maybe it was after. I don't remember exactly, but I remember there being a point where he asked, "How do you do that?" She says, "Do what?"
yeah,
He said, "Change your hair." She goes, "That one was unconscious.
Oh,
It
when
goes
she it
blonde
turns
if
to
I feel
blonde, and
happy or
yeah,
content." Yeah, and she's like, "You're happy then
yeah, he's like,
with
but
me?"
yeah, and he's like, but you, he's like,
Oh, he loved it.
but you miss the mountains, don't you? She's like, yeah, but
Yep,
sometimes like you're happy in multiple because of different things, even if they
yep.
contradict each other. It was very,
and it's just like
Uh,
I would miss you too, you know.
they're so
God, it's
cute.
so adorable.
They're so fucking adorable.
Also, I would like to bring into attention that Vivenna is currently, working on her career as an escapist while she's having a mukbang with the
Yeah,
king.
right.
She's having a cute little date, and Vivetta's fighting for her fucking life.
I know, right? Jesus Christ. Like,
Yeah, because
This
Vivenna's
is what
totally
makes me wish there
boring.
were timestamps on this, so like you could see when exactly
What's
all of this
happening?
is happening.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could put it all together.
Well, it's happening at night, and she said it was nighttime when she was like basically
Yeah,
trapped with Violet. So she hasn't learned about Parlin probably yet at this point, because she learns about that in the morning. She gets there, I think, at sunrise. So
yeah.
she's
So
right
like,
now probably trying to awaken the rope to free herself, and Ciri's having a date night.
yeah,
Or she could be puking and crying while like looking at Nightblood potentially at this
yeah.
point.
I mean, there's so many like that's why I said I wish there was like a timestamp so you could like look at that, figure it out, put it all as a timeline.
Yup.
But like,
I
oh
need
my
someone to
god,
make one.
it's so funny because the king over here, like their father, was like, "Oh, I'm gonna send Siri so that Vivenna's stay safe," and then it just turns out that Siri is now the safe one, while Vivenna is not. You kind of doomed your children, man.
And then Faffin's just
She's,
a monk. Faffin's fine.
I was gonna say she's
I
gonna
mean, we don't
send
know anything about
falafel.
Fafin. First off, I want to know what happens to Fafin. Like,
As
I'm
far as
sticking
we
with
know, I
falafel.
want to know what the fuck their brother is thinking during all this.
right?
Right?
Where's their brother at in general?
He's
What if
He's
he's
in
supposedly
the
like, where's my
like
army.
sisters?
next in line to be king.
He's in the army. He's gonna get killed
Oh gosh, there's gonna be
in
a
the
war. He's
war.
gonna be on the front lines. And their
Yeah,
whole
and he's
family's
gonna be
gonna
the
get
king.
murdered.
He's gonna be the king,
Wait,
and he's gonna be on the front lines. Yeah.
wait. What if they are in the front lines and then they just see their sisters like fighting?
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
yeah, the Vena over there on the other side fighting.
She's like full on
Yeah.
awakener mode, and they're,
Yeah.
like glowing with like freaking like tons of breath. And then there's Siri like she's like
Mr.
riding on
Surprise.
Susabron's shoulders or something. She's so
Yeah.
fucking tall.
Riding on a fucking dragon. Or no, I'm sorry,
Bro.
no, a large what was it, panther?
Oh, the Red Panther, and then she's wearing like a
Yeah,
super
there.
slutty dress.
Yeah.
No,
Oh
That's her
man,
thing
no.
lately.
Light Song would be riding on the Panther.
Light Songs on the
no, let's
Panther,
not see
Siri's on
something.
Susabron's shoulders with a
Oh
really
god,
slutty dress on. I'm pregnant.
and
Oh, not
pregnant.
the
Oh, even better,
pregnancy.
even better. Putting pregnant women on a battlefield, 100%.
Yup.
Great.
She's like 9 months pregnant on the battlefield.
That's 9 months. Jesus Christ, she's about to pop on the battlefield. Oh no.
That's what breaks the war.
Oh god.
Yeah, her water breaking breaks the war.
Oh no.
Wonderful.
Oh,
Oh no.
Guys, we must have peace, for this baby has been born in all of this strife.
no.
I'm writing that down for D&D.
The baby, like, yeah, the water breaks in the middle of the war. The baby comes out,
Everybody
and
just stop
the
fighting.
baby glows, rises at the air, and says, "I am Oster, god of colors," in like a deep booming voice, and then everyone bows.
Yeah.
That'd
right.
be
War
great,
broken.
bro. Oh.
Bookend.
I mean, I'm on on the topics of like the fact that things have been changing, so what we thought they were isn't really what they are.
Hmm.
It would be a great twist if we somehow find out from Ciri or Vivenna's point of view that Hallandrin's not like the bad people. Maybe her actual like I don't know what Eladrin
Idris.
is actually Idris. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
You
Idris is
keep for some
actually the
reason going to
bad.
Elantris, which is the next book we're reading. You keep saying
I
Elantris instead of
don't
Idris.
know. Oh, I don't know. But maybe they're actually the bad, like the bad people.
That's what I thought.
Richard's actually gonna be the bad guy all along, the brother.
Hmm
Ridger's been doing stuff in the background. Not even the dad knows, but Ridger's been working in the background to start the war this whole time.
Uh,
He's actually
I
the
mean,
one
I
who
feel
hired
like
Dent to like kidnap his sister.
I feel like if any of those people were relevant right anymore, like we would have already gotten some like tidbits on them.
Nah, it's Mob. You know?
It's Mob! Mob and
Oh
Ridger.
yeah, it's Mab. Yeah,
Mab
Mab
and
is
Ridger.
totally yeah,
Anyways,
totally Mab.
got on a bit of a tangent.
Oh yeah.
So they're eating. Sue Brown describes one of the pastries, which is a tink fan from Pankal, as something you should eat in small bites. But Siri stuffs the whole thing in her mouth. I like thinking of like a 2-bite brownie type thing. She just shoves the whole thing in her mouth.
Me,
And
I'm imagining him like trying to explain this to her, like explaining it, and she's just over there just stuffing food in her mouth, like
I like
not
the fact.
listening.
I like the fact that she does it, smiles, and then shoves another one in.
yes,
Yep.
she's great.
Oh,
This is B so much. I love Siri. I relate to Siri so much.
oh,
Yeah,
is this you?
maybe.
Is
Uh,
Caesar on
Jesus
Jesus?
is Susabran. Jesus is Susabran.
okay.
Serious.
But anyway, so after telling Siri that children who gorge themselves usually get thrown off of cliffs, whatever the fuck book that is, he decides to also he shoves a whole crisp bread into his mouth as well. So he's just like fuck it, and just shoves the whole
Can't
thing
beat
into
him.
his mouth.
Join him.
He's like,
Say can't beat him. Join him.
Yeah. So then Siri eventually moves the conversation to a more serious discussion, and she thinks that Susabran should try speaking to the common people or some of the other gods. Also, I want to note here that I was wrong during the Hoid thing. They do not always capitalize gods. It's just been 99% of the time throughout the book, but they don't do it here or a couple other times in this chapters, and I'm like, fuck, I was so sure I was onto something there. But no, apparently they don't always capitalize gods. I've been wrong.
Because God itself is always capitalized. Gods with a plural is usually not.
But apparently it's only in certain situations, but it's been like 99% of the book so far they usually capitalize gods, but yeah, no, I was wrong. I wanted to throw that note in there. I fucked up.
I need a.
Good, because I have it on my notes, so.
No, I can admit to my mistakes.
So
My
big
brain-
of you.
My brain is still on a tangent of its own, right?
Mhm.
And I was thinking, I need a command that's just Holy Spirit activate. You know,
Holy Spirit activate. Holy Spirit activate.
it'd be funny as fuck.
But yeah, so then Susabran humors Siri and asks how he'd be able to communicate with people, and Siri suggests giving notes to servants, but Susabran says if they really can't trust the priests and they can't trust the servants who work under the priests, Siri suggests the pawn call servants, but Susabran says that they aren't allowed to directly like interact with him. And then Susabran suggests working with a priest and talking to them through the artisan script. And Siri asks if Susabran would want to run away to Idris with her if the priests were trying to kill him. And Susabran says if they get to that point, he would. So do you think Susabran will actually run away with Siri?
Nah.
Need be? No, you don't think you ditch
I
him?
don't think so.
I feel like if she can give substantial proof, I think they will try. I just don't think they will succeed.
I think
the other problem I feel like is if you take Susabran to Idris,
they're gonna want to slaughter him.
Pretty sure that's not a good plan. Like unless you got some like legit acting skills to be like, yeah, this man is just some random person. I know I was sent to marry the God King, but like I just found this random man and we fell in love and now we're here.
This is a different god for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
the light,
they're definitely gonna
prisming of the white colors definitely isn't saying that he's the God King, considering the God King is the only one who can do that, and like all of Idris is painted white.
Exactly.
And now it's all sparkly.
Yeah, everything's colorful, and everyone hates it.
They're all wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, imagine everyone walking into like an Idrin village where like all the houses are like basically like whitewashed, and it's just like suddenly rainbows everywhere.
Oh my god.
The queer is invading.
Gotta turn Idris gay.
Please.
Anyway, as I was saying, I think they're gonna try and escape. They're gonna make it out of the, court, castle thing or whatever, right? And it's gonna be with that one dude's help. No one that was like, "Yeah, I'll help you escape if you do this or whatever."
Blue
right?
Fingers.
Blue Fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's why
The
she
more
brought it
we
up
go
because
in,
she kind of had that conversation with Bluefingers.
the more we go into like,
Can we sparkle out the God King?
the more we go into like current like chaotic stuff, the less I'm interested in what's happening in the past. So I remember
Mhm.
less,
Yeah.
But um, how does it say? They're gonna make it out, but I don't think they're gonna go to like any other place. I think they're gonna stay in the city, try and revolt.
Mm.
Possible. I mean, here's the next problem, right? If the priests aren't lying about the gods needing like breath to survive, he's not gonna last long.
Well, I think she was wondering if like the extra breath he had will sustain him.
But even that though, like if you don't take any more breath, like
Yeah.
you're
How
not
long
gonna
is he gonna live?
eventually you would run out if what they said is true.
Yeah.
Eventually you run out. Like
I think I think Susan Brown would risk it. I think he wouldn't care, to be honest.
I don't know. He seemed to want his life.
Yeah, I mean, he was
He
specifically
was
saying
enjoying
like
his
he
life.
now that he's finally being able to communicate with like and read and write, like he's
Yeah,
excited to
but
actually be living.
it's gonna be either their life, right,
Mhm.
regardless, or like risking it and being with Siri, which one would be think he
Yeah,
would
to be true, does he
choose?
care more about Siri or does he care more about learning things?
Himself.
I don't know. He's been pretty cute and
Cause
flirty.
cause cause Siri's the
Yes.
catalyst for everything that's been happening. So
Hmm.
yes, that's been
Yeah, so that was chapter 36. So we're on to chapter 37, which I didn't make too many notes on.
Really?
Um,
like it's boring.
I'll be honest,
Oh.
like, the Vivenna being in like the streets chapters have always been like ones I like skim through the most. I don't know why.
You're
Because
so rude.
you're asexual. I think the whole uh God, I could go through this whole thing now.
I mean, I'm
The
happy for you guys. I do have notes like on it. I didn't go into like probably as
It's
much
okay.
detail as
We
like
can
the
go
other
through
chapters.
your notes. We'll probably end up
Yeah,
touching it anyways.
that's
So
fine. So yeah, we start with we're back with Vivenna, who's wandering aimlessly through the slums, and she's considering how Parlin's death is her fault as she brought him here. And she looks
as it
back on,
is.
and she looks back on how Dent and his team had betrayed her. And she's kind of just wandering, and she's a dead end in an alleyway. And as she turns around, there's a voice that says "You." And Vivenna notes that the man is Idrian and was at the meeting, but he's not interested in helping her. And notes that there is a
No,
search.
instead he wants to strip her of her clothes, including her
Yeah,
undergarments,
we'll get into that.
and throw her back into the streets.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, he doesn't want to help her, and he notes that there's a search going for her currently. I think we kind of learn a little bit about who that is later, but do you specifically think that it was Dent's team or Vasher or someone else that was searching for her, or multiple
I thought it
parties?
was I thought it was still
Then and then
the guards.
oh, you
Oh,
thought
the
it
So
was the
city
guards
guards?
from the city. Okay,
yeah,
awesome. I mean, I thought it was Dent and them, but because she does say it's like getting closer to morning or something like that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was morning when she
Oh, that was
left the safe house. So I think
yeah.
it's
Even
been a
during the full light of day. So yeah, I think she's.
yeah, so I think it's like midday now. So Vasher's probably also noticed she's gone, I'm assuming, which is why I was asking
Hmm.
if you think it's like Dent, that Vasher, multiple parties, other people.
that's just like, where'd this bitch go?
Mm-hmm.
Vasher's like, I'm gonna fucking kill her. I told her if she ran, I was gonna fucking kill her.
I feel like we missed something because like, or maybe I'm thinking of the one thing where when she went to hit the cloak and it turned gray. I thought something was a door. I thought it was at the doorknob though.
I think the doorknob. I think part of her outfit or the doorknob turns gray when she does the rope. When she is able to
Yeah,
awaken the
yeah,
rope.
yeah. That I
Purposes.
had that in my notes. I didn't know why I had it there. Like that was interesting to me because that's kind of what. Uh, wow, I'm blanking on the
Nightblood.
name of the sword. Yeah, thank you.
Night.
Nightblood.
That's
That's
what I
kind
was
of what
thinking.
Nightblood does.
Well,
Like
every time someone, which is it's been throughout the books, but every time someone awakens something, something turns gray.
yeah, including them as drab.
Yeah, because I think there was like gray floorboards they had to replace in Mercy Star's palace and stuff, and well, and the lifeless are all gray, and yeah. Whenever you do
Hmm.
anything with awakening, you draw color from something as well as drawing breath into it.
So what you're saying is, if it just awakens like literally everywhere, then their problems would be solved.
Um, but yeah. So, anyways, the man threatens her with a knife and asks for her dress because she fucking always wears really fucking expensive clothing. It's coming to get you, Vivenna. Tripped you up, and now people are wanting to steal your clothing from you because it's all super expensive. And he's like, I could feed my family with this cloth, even though it's
Yep.
dirty. And so yeah, she eventually removes it, and he's like, don't let it drop on the ground because I don't need it dirtier than it already is. And so she hands it to him, and he asks for her shift as well, but she refuses, and she kind of has like a breakdown here. She begins yelling, no, and falls to her knees, covering her shift, and she begins like just smearing refuse and mud all over her shift, and the man kind of wavers and then dashes away. So yeah, what were your thoughts on Vivenna's breakdown here?
Pretty
She's had a
valid.
rough like 12
Yeah,
hours.
pretty valid. You just
Yeah.
watch
Yeah.
your possible fiance, whatever, you know, like,
I
or
mean, even
what
if she
you
wasn't the
thought was.
nicest to him, he probably was like her best friend. I don't think she really got to have a
Yep,
lot of friends and stuff.
probably not. But I mean, seeing anybody dead like that would probably scar somebody.
Yeah, seeing your friend like that. Also, the other people who you thought were friends were the ones who
I was
did
gonna say,
that.
yeah, I was gonna say the betrayal would hit me like
Yeah, the
hard as
betrayal,
well.
seeing Parlin dead. Like,
Yeah.
you also got kidnapped
Didn't
just
Dent
before
at one
that.
point didn't Dent at one point say something about like sending him home, or was it her who said I should send him home?
Yeah, it was her.
She says I should have sent him home. Yeah,
I gotcha. Okay.
because she's like, it's my fault he's dead. If I had sent him home with the rest of the
No.
the
I meant
guys.
before that. I meant
No,
She
before
has
yeah,
that when they were
previously as
talking.
well said I should have sent him home.
yeah.
She's like, he doesn't really
Thought
fit
that
in
was like
here.
the
He's
thing.
too
Yeah.
naive. I should have sent him home.
And then
I don't
Dent
think he wanted to leave
told her
though.
not to. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he said he was here to. I mean, he said in the end of last episode, he was like, I'm here to help Siri. Like we said, I'm not here because of you.
Yep.
Well, he's also not here because of her now. So
He's not here in general. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. Like, Parlin and Siri might have also had a good relationship. Siri was always like out in the wilderness riding horses and stuff. They might have gotten along well.
Yeah. She seems
what
a
if
lot like Meredith.
he accidentally got trampled? You know?
Oh no. um. Yeah. So then after a while, it begins to rain, and Vivenna comes back to her senses a bit, and she finds a muddy shawl. I think she says it might also have been a rug, but I think she in the next chapter that she's in, she just keeps referring to it as a shawl. So I think we're assuming it's a shawl, and wraps it around her
What's
shoulders.
Never mind. Let me just Google it.
And she wraps
What a
it around.
shawl is?
Yeah.
It's like just like a shoulder covering thing.
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah.
Yeah, and she wraps it around her shoulders to offer some level of modesty. And her hair is like,
Darkness. We were told not to Google, remember?
I mean, googling what a
It's not.
shawl is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so her hair, which has like been is basically I think been white since she's been kidnapped, and it's refusing to turn back to black. So she rubs mud and dirt into it to make it like a gross brown
Brown.
color. And she silly says it like doesn't look great. And then she realizes her breath will give her away because like even though she's like dirty and gross and like in her underwear basically, like she's still like radiating like an aura of color. Um, and so she puts her breath into the shawl without any sort of command. I think she does the like my breath to you thing, which Dentha tried to make her do, and Lament had done to her. And she's like, I still don't know how to get it back, but at least I won't be discovered. And then she falls to the ground with the shock of losing her breath, feeling as if the entire city had become dead. And she's now a drab, and she shuffles away, holding the shawl close to her. So
I wonder.
yeah, I think we
Oh,
kind of discussed this previously, but yeah, what did the thought of people being able to hide their breath like this within items make you think about any thoughts or theories in regards to just the book in
I
general?
was just wondering how what would happen if you like rip that shit? You know,
I don't know what
if
would
you
happen.
destroy it.
Breath go bye bye.
You think so?
If you cut it in half, does half the breath go into each part of it, or how does that work?
Also, that'd be pretty cool going undercover by just like storing breaths. Like, what if you're like wearing bandanas on each of like your limbs, and then you're just like, my breath is yours, and then store
Yeah, I
like
think
for whenever you need it.
I think Mythic or something brought it up earlier, but like, what if Jules isn't really a drab? What if she
Yeah.
just has breath and things? Like, Denth and Tonkfa were able to sneak up on her. They probably put their breath into something because they have at least the one. I think
she's made the comment. Yes, they at least
Or
made the comment.
do
but
they
like
even have more?
that,
They
though.
only keep one.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, what if you put it in all multiple objects. Like my running theory here is that Denth put his breath in his like pants or something or his shoes,
Like
and
Vasher
that's why
does,
he
yeah.
moves, and that's why he moves super fast.
You think he does like
Uh,
the awakening thing like Vasher where he like
yeah.
strengthens himself?
hmm and then there was another one that I thought of about Talkfile, but I can't remember what it was.
I mean,
But
if they're friends, they would probably have had similar ideas
mhm.
with how to use awakening powers.
And then the other one that I thought about was what would happen if you put breath into a drab?
Into a
Or
drab, I
not?
think
Sorry,
like
not a drab. Not, sorry, not a drab. What is it thing called?
Lifeless.
Thank you. A
That's what I
lifeless.
was
Like if they put it in
thinking.
yeah, I
Claude,
think
yeah.
Darkness has like mentioned that previously, like if certain lifeless or
I keep thinking that Claude is like
got
what if they
more than one.
tried? Yeah, I think he's the one that has like what 50 breaths or whatever.
Yeah, because they said in the past you had to use 50 breath to make a lifeless, and
Mm-hmm.
then they learned how to make the one breath
Out of one, but
lifeless.
they were
And,
less like
and then that
whatever. Yeah.
yeah, and then that's why like that dude is like always showing emotion and shit through his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I think you said at one point you thought maybe
Personality.
like returned were just like lifeless but with a fuck ton of breath.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. Stuff like that.
like the the very expensive lifeless, the new not the new model, but
That you worship. I mean, lifeless
Yeah.
don't have to eat. Gods don't have to eat.
No.
they also don't have to.
We haven't seen gods feel pain yet. Except maybe a heartbreak or two.
I was gonna say emotionally, maybe.
They got emotional damage, but they don't have physical damage.
Emotional damage. But yeah, no, I definitely think that it's a running theory that I don't think Jules is actually a drab.
Hmm. All right, and then we get to go into light
Wait,
songs. Oh.
wait.
Oh,
So what I really am interested in
Mhm.
is the fact that they said they would have to spend another breath on Claude if he like got super fucked up, right?
Yeah, they basically said I think like after a while, if a lifeless takes too much damage, you have to like give them a new breath.
Yeah, but would that just like instantly heal them, or
I'm not
because if
really
that's how
because they said yeah they just said like if you keep replacing muscles or keep like suturing them, you have to give them a new breath. So yeah, and they do say that he heals just really slowly, and like not
so what
everyone
I'm
can
thinking
heal.
is like if that like theory of like oh the gods are just like the expensive lifeless, if they have that like maximum amount of like breath, right?
Hmm.
Like that the maximum
you think
that
it's
that
tearing them
like
apart?
large like no I mean like all those ailments that they would have gotten or like like damage they could have gotten is like instantly heals because of how large the amount is,
Mm,
and that's why people are like more inclined to believing that they're gods.
interesting.
Yeah. Anyway.
Funny theory.
But yeah, so then we're going into Light Song's chapter, which I liked his little chapter here. So yeah, so we start with him sitting on the edge of his bed, breathing heavily. The servants had
Yeah.
woken him early as he had requested, and Lightsong notes that he had a dream where he had been a man on the battlefield with no weapon, soldiers dying around him, friend after friend. He had known each one close to him. He had been seeing through the eyes of an Idrian soldier, and he thinks that the Idrians are the ones threatening them, and they need to be quelled, and that they deserve it. But do you think Lightsong really thinks the Idrians deserve to be killed in battle? He's kind of like goes into a weird little tirade there, in my opinion. In his head.
He was seen through the eyes of an Idrian soldier, right?
Yes, he says
Mm-hmm.
that he's like, oh, but Haladrin should have been like be fought by like lifeless soldiers, and he's like, no, like the boots of one of my fallen friends had like the Idrian crest on it and stuff. He's like, I was an Idrian soldier in this dream.
What if he was like a really good like sheriff slash whatever on the Idrian
Sheriff.
side?
City guard type thing.
Got yeah, got drafted into that. Like somehow like they made it to like
Drafted into the Alamo.
into the like the war thingy.
Anywhere?
Yeah, and then he what if he like died to like a random ass panther after surviving like but still being injured.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like what if he strayed off while injured and then died to that? Because he keeps seeing that panther.
the red panther that looks like it's made of
Yeah.
glass. Interesting. What do you think, Mythic? What do
Just
you think about Light Song's little thing with the being an Idrian soldier in his dream and him being like kind of going on that tirade about the Idrians?
Well, I mean, like I said, I think it's his past, and he'll eventually figure that out. But I think it's his past coming back to haunt him.
So you think he was Idrian in the
So,
past?
yep. I think he was something.
Um. So yeah.
what if
So yeah, Darkness.
what
You
if
didn't
it's
really
just
answer that part of the question fully.
what was it?
What do you think about like his little thing with like about the
Tirade.
Idrians? Because he kind of goes into like the Idrians deserved it, and like they're the ones who have like been threatening them, and they need to be quelled. They're rebels.
I think he's like a little stressed, a little
Feels like
trying
Blushweaver's
to
been
figure
getting
out.
to him a little too much.
Yeah,
Just a little bit.
um, yeah. So he
I
also
think. Yeah, never mind. Keep going.
I was just gonna say, he also mentions how there's been recurring images such as the glowing red panther, which Darkness mentioned, a tempest, and a young woman's face being absorbed into the darkness and eaten alive. And then he states that he saw Blushweaver, face red and flushed. He saw Larimar sleeping, and he saw the God King crying. What do you think
Hmm.
about these reoccurring images and the what he saw about the three people?
Oh my God, Siri dies.
You think that's why the God King's crying? Because Ciri's dead?
Yeah, why else would he cry?
He found out that his priests are actual dickheads.
Nah, that it. Well, actually, that could be a thing, because sort of like parental figures.
Yeah, he seems to like his priests very much. So
Huh. I'm leaning with Siri dies.
okay.
uh, what if imagine if Siri becomes lifeless?
He
Interesting.
makes her lifeless.
I don't know if he makes her lifeless, but I'm just saying,
Mm.
like, what if she becomes lifeless?
Or a god.
Or both, which is what I was gonna say. Because what if she becomes that expensive one, and then evolves a little or whatever?
Your
Because I wouldn't put
lifeless
it past
turned
it.
god theory.
I wouldn't put it past it for Vivenna to be like, no, my sister, and gives all her breath into
Oh
him.
yeah, that would be very interesting for sure.
hmm
On the battlefield,
Sister Slay.
What do you think, Mythic, about the characters there and how everything's been going?
I mean, I like I said, I think he's. I don't know if it's. I feel like it's going to be like more of a stress thing than anything. I don't think he's prophetic. So I feel like it's just a dream. You know, people have weird dreams all the time. I think he's
Uh,
stressing.
that like that just makes you think he has hella drama. I mean, trauma.
Also,
Does
yeah,
have
what do
hell
you think
drama.
about
He's a god.
specifically about the young woman's face being absorbed into the darkness and eaten alive?
By the darkness.
By
hmm
me.
Yes, by darkness.
By darkness. Darkness, why are you eating this young woman's face?
Yeah. Can you tell us that, please, darkness? Why are you eating a young woman's face?
She refused to give me her breath. You know.
Ah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Do we think the
Give
young
me your
woman is
breath
the
or I
woman
eat
that
your
he's been
face.
seeing previously, or do we
I
think it's
think
someone
so.
Yes.
else? Yeah.
I think it's the woman he's been seeing previously.
I'm assuming I assume that was kind of like how they were implying it to be, although they don't
Do we have a
say it
I would
description of
directly.
that
hope.
woman, by the way?
I was 100% hoping it was going to be Blushweaver, though.
Yeah,
Do,
well, he mentions Blessweaver separately, which is why
I
I
know,
don't think it
but I
is.
was hoping it would be.
do we have a description of what that woman looks like? I forget.
Yes, I believe the
Kind of.
first time they talk
Yeah,
Do
about
you
her.
kind
remember?
of.
I
I,
can see if
I
I can
don't remember
find
exactly.
it. Let me search my document here. Searching for the word dream. Dream. Um, no, that was the ship on fire. Dreamed of war. Dreams disturbing. Totally are burning.
Dreams disturbing.
That's where they're burning.
Dreamed of war again.
Dreamed of my past wife.
This is
Dreams
the
of
Red
Susabran
Panther. I feel
dying.
like I've missed it. What the fuck was this dream? So she'll be annoyed.
Dreamed of past drama.
Memories of dreams. Had a dream. Search young woman. No. Light Song describes a woman. Okay, I didn't give the description here. What chapter is this? Chapter
No!
3. Chapter 3.
Midnight, you're supposed to be good at notes.
This was like our first episode. This is the episode you guys got mad at me, so I didn't give good enough notes.
You didn't. you didn't talk about like all the changes in
I'm
the
sorry.
stuff.
So I think this is.
And then
At
you
the,
got better all of a sudden.
I think this is at the
Yeah.
end of chapter 3. It looks like, based on my notes. Okay, she had inviting brown hair, red lips, 3 shades shy of the 7th harmonic, and a deep beauty, dark tan skin.
Yeah, so she was
That was the
Idrian.
description.
I don't know. I don't think that would be Idrian.
She's Idrian.
I don't-
I'm not sure dark tan skin is considered Adrian, but
Also, the lipstick throws me off because.
well, he doesn't say
You
it's
know.
specifically lipstick. She might just have naturally really red lips.
Oh.
I don't know. He just says red lips.
Yeah,
3
'cause
shades
darkness,
shy
'cause,
of the 7th harmonic,
women
whatever
can't
that means.
women can have just natural red lips. You know, they don't always wear makeup.
Although if she has dark tan skin, don't you usually have like kind of more brownish tinted lips if you
Yeah.
have dark tan
Mhm.
skin more than red? So it's probably more likely to be lipstick then. Unless he's just saying she's like tanned but usually white. I don't really know.
She got tanned in the Hallandran
Sun.
War!
summers. Yeah.
Oh.
Anyways, so yeah, Light Song the Notes is his feast day. He asks for urns.
He's gonna eat another child.
Yep, he asks for urns, 2 dozen, one for each of the gods, painted after their colors. He also
Oh,
asks
that's my favorite part.
Yeah, he also asks for lots of pebbles. He then gets dressed and goes off to feed on the soul of a child. Is how he specifically phrases it. We then time skip to Light Song throwing pebbles into the urns. He makes one in and then misses the next one, but a servant takes the pebble and puts it in the correct urn.
And
Light
then he
Song-
says, "I'm very good."
Yes, Light Song states that he gets the pebble in every time. He's like, I'm so good, I always get it in.
What follows after cracks me up.
Yeah, and then Larimar notes that Blushweaver is approaching. Light Song notes he can show off his pebble throwing skills. He's like, yeah, my pebble throwing. Look at this. So Blushweaver arrives and asks what Light Song is doing. Light Song doesn't answer Blushweaver. Instead, goes on about how the gods' names should be used with oaths. Light Song would find it flattering if his was. He then notes Blushweaver is in a bad mood, and Blushweaver says Allmother refuses to even speak with her, let alone give her commands. I think we've kind of talked about this before, but since we still haven't met Allmother, what sort of person are you expecting her to be?
An old hag.
I meant more personality-wise, but...
Oh, well, I mean, that's... Hag is a personality, but yeah, sure.
Okay. I mean, I think they've mentioned that she looks older.
Yeah, but I don't know. I definitely think personality-wise, she's going to be much more, like, I don't know, kind of like down to earth, where, like, she understands... can't think of the word right now. Like, she understands the human plight, being a god.
Yeah. All we really know about her is that she, I think, looks older. She was close to, what was her name? The person that Light Song slept with that he really respected. I can't remember her name.
Slept with? He slept with?
Yeah, he slept with that one girl, that one goddess, a long time ago.
The one that's dead, you know?
Yeah. The last good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I forget her. I can't remember her name. I'm like blanking. I think it's Calm something.
Comseer? Comseer?
Oh, it might be Comseer. Yeah, I think so. But anyways, all we know is that yeah, she was close to Comseer and that she hates Light Song and she seems to really not be liking Blushweaver right now.
Watching not be even
or just understand that she doesn't want to give away her fucking
Yeah, she doesn't
only
want to give away her
leverage.
lifeless commands, and she's like not even talking to Blush Weaver anymore. She's like, no, I'm fucking done with you.
I mean, valid.
Yeah, I was
So.
gonna say fair. Yeah, so Lightsong then uses the phrase absolute value, which causes both him and Blushweaver to pause. Blushweaver begins using the you oath. Like, she keeps saying it, like, I don't have, like, the exact wording down, but yeah, she just keeps saying, for the love of you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then Blushweaver suggests going back to her room as per usual, and as like she usually does, and suggests that she is the goddess of lust instead of the goddess of honesty.
Well, I
Because
mean, some people being honest to their,
yeah, I think she
selves.
says that. She's like, isn't
Yeah.
Lush just being honest about like emotions or whatever?
Yeah,
Um,
about yourself. Yeah, something like that
anyways,
extent.
does
I don't remember exactly.
Lightsong's use of the phrase absolute value give you any new thoughts on his previous life?
Not really. Not that I can pick up on right now.
They both like, what the fuck was that? That just popped out of your mouth.
Yep.
It's kind of more of a smart phrase. You don't really.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not a smart person. What the fuck is this bullshit?
Well, I mean,
Go ahead,
when they
Victor.
say absolute value, all I think of is math.
Yeah, I think it's more
So
of like it's like a math type phrase. I don't
hmm
know of any other context you would use it in, actually.
Well, I mean, the gods are absolutely not valued, so definitely couldn't be about that.
Yeah. Alright, so Lightsong then explains what he is doing with the pebbles. He's counting the number of priests who come through the gates wearing the colors of each god or goddess. Blushwater still seems concerned about Lightsong and smiles as he notes Mercy Star's urn. As Yeah, concerned about Lightsong, and Lightsong smiles as he notes Mercy Star's urn has one of the smallest piles of pebbles. He also notes that he's been counting for 6 hours. He says that likely the gods or goddesses with fewer pebbles have priests coming and going through different means, such as the tunnels. So yeah, what do you think about Lightsong's
Yep.
observations and theories here?
Pretty valid. I mean, I like that he's actually trying to deduce how many priests and come in and all that. That's pretty
Yeah, it's a pretty
what's the
good
detective of
idea.
him?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a detective thing.
you can
Yeah,
kind of tell who's using the tunnels potentially, who's got shit
pretty
going on. What
much.
do you think, Darkness?
uh, I'm just trying to figure out why they're using it.
Why they're using the tunnels?
Instead
Yeah,
of coming
Because
coming
they
in
don't.
normally.
Yeah, they don't want to come in normally, so people see them, like kind of like what he's doing right now. He's clocking who's coming in.
yeah, but why would they want to hide
Stealthy
that?
tactic.
Like, who do they think is watching?
Who do
It's a
you?
good
I mean,
question.
possible. Yeah, they, they think somebody's watching it, obviously, or they're trying to keep it away from somebody.
Ow! I just stabbed myself with
Who
a pen
don't
by
you
accident.
trust? You
You
stab
just
yourself
stab
with a pen?
yourself?
Yeah, I'm okay. Didn't actually
Jesus.
like break the skin, but it hurt a lot.
Stab it back.
Oh, God.
I just like fidget with things, and I was fidgeting with a pen, and it stabbed my
Yeah, I have
hand.
a fidget toy for that reason.
um,
My friends hate it.
I've lost my train of thought.
All right, didn't mean to make you lose your train of thought.
No, it's more me stabbing myself with the pen that made me lose my train of thought.
That's some blood.
Usually, pain's supposed to make you actually remember things better, right?
I don't know. Lightsong then pulls out a box which contains the lifeless squirrel. We learn that breaking lifeless commands has to do with breath and torture and can take weeks. The more skilled an awakener, the longer their lifeless commands will take to break. Why do you think you need to torture a lifeless even though they can't feel pain?
Hmm. Honestly, I didn't even think about that until now.
It
Huh?
can be, in my opinion, it can be like two different options.
Mhm.
They either do feel pain and people just don't like want to accept that,
They don't show it.
like
Yeah.
yeah, or they're doing the thing where like they like damage them enough where like they need a new breath, right?
Mm.
And they just like take over using that new breath.
Yeah, maybe you have to give them new commands when you give them the new breath type thing.
Yeah.
That might make sense. Or they have to like not kill the lifeless, but they have to like injure it enough that it needs the new breath.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea for that.
Assumption. Yeah.
Good hypothesis.
Yep.
Um, yeah. So then Lightsong goes about how the tunnels would be perfect for a clandestine operation, and
Mm-hmm.
Blushweaver then says that surely it'd be noticed if something like that was happening, and Lightsong states that he forgot he was such an idiot, and thanks her for reminding him. He then asks Blushweaver why he hates being a god and why he undermines his own authority. Lightsong states he was like this from day one, refusing to believe he was a god, and has acted accordingly since. He states that the past version of him is trying to get out and warning him that he isn't a god. What do you think this
Mm-hmm.
says about the Lightsong from before he became a returned?
It would make more sense that he's actually Adrian. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
You think it makes more sense that he's like not Halandrin type thing because he doesn't
I mean
believe in
not
gods?
Halandrin. I meant Adrian. That he's
Yeah,
actually
that
Adrian.
he is Idrian.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
well, that's what I meant when I said not Halandrin, is that he's not from there. He doesn't believe in those gods.
I mean, he doesn't, so doesn't believe him
Exactly.
himself. So
Interesting.
What do you think, Mythic?
exactly. I mean, I think he's Idrian.
Yeah,
I
okay.
mean, yeah,
He's an Adrian god, you know.
I don't know about that, but I think he's. I definitely think he's Idrian. I think most of these people probably came from the mini war, and they were uh, probably the
Oh my god.
yeah
Wait.
they were
Oh,
probably whatever. I can't think of the word now.
What if they're all Adrian?
all of the
Hmm.
gods are Idrian?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that's why they don't want them to remember and shit, you know?
That'd be interesting.
It would be, but why would the priest? Why would the priest know about that though? Maybe I mean, unless they're in on
To keep
that
them
whole
from
conspiracy.
I mean, Larimar definitely would know because he apparently knew
Yep.
Lightsong from before.
Hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How he? So would that mean that Larmar was Idrian?
You think he wouldn't be allowed to be a
or
priest if he was Idrian?
No,
or
that's what I'm saying. So.
like what if he was involved in that many word thing and then the only reason he like knows about Light Song is because he was there.
Mm, possibly.
Anyway,
I
you
mean,
know.
yeah, he
Um,
knows Light Song, so
mhm. So yeah, so then the chapter ends with Lightsong stating he is going to go see Allmother. So hopefully our
yes,
next Lightsong chapter we'll get to finally meet Allmother.
hopefully.
Why'd you just skip it?
Just like they skipped Vasher going into the tunnels.
Yep.
I'm so
We
sad.
still don't know anything about that.
Hopefully, we figure that out at some point, but
Yeah. And then we don't get many Vasher chapters, many Vasher POV chapters.
no.
So then for our final chapter, we're back with Vivenna, and she has spent a week. Apparently, a week has gone by, and she spent a week living in the gutters. She had apparently sold her
Yes.
hair on the second day for a very small amount of money, and the food hadn't filled her belly, and she didn't have enough food to regrow her hair to sell more of it. She also didn't know how to sell her breath and was concerned Dent would be watching those places anyways. She tries to beg on the busy streets, but struggles, and she also struggles to think of Dent and his crew as terrible people she had learned them to be. She feels like her mind isn't working right. She also wonders what her father must think, his men vanishing mysteriously and Halandrin inching closer to declaring war. So yeah, what do you think about what Vivenna's father must be thinking? We kind of touched on it previously, but like his all his men he keeps sending out are dying without contacting him again. Landron is getting closer and closer declaring war on them. He hasn't heard, I'm assuming, from either daughter. I don't think Ciri's allowed to contact her family.
No, we kind of already stated that, or Susaban already stated that like she doesn't really have a connection to the
Hmm.
outside world. So
So yeah, so what do you think their family is potentially thinking at this point?
probably that. Well, I mean, it depends on how many he sent. Like we don't know how many exactly he sent, but those were recent apparently. So.
Yeah, so he's sent at least two recently, and Dent
Hmm.
kind of said that he's been like constantly getting rid of them.
Hmm.
So I'm
So I mean, at least he's
assuming,
still sending them. So he still has some kind of a hope
yeah, he's
that
obviously
she's
he still has a
alive.
hope, but We don't know,
I
yeah,
wonder
if
if he gets the same rumors that Halandran people are getting about the princess in the streets.
potentially, but at the same time, you think Denth might have gotten rid of all of his contacts in the city if he got rid of all the men coming as well. He doesn't want anything getting out, obviously,
Hmm.
to Idris, so he probably is pretty blind to what's happening. He probably doesn't know if if Vivenna's alive or not.
But he still has hope. He sent more men,
He
so
probably
Or
gets
maybe
enough
he's just
information
petty.
that Ciri's still alive because that would probably be well known because she's the queen. But Vivenna, you probably wouldn't get any information on.
He's probably panicking like hell right now.
He's like, I fucked up, I fucked up, I fucked up.
yeah.
In
I
multiple
should have
ways.
just sent
Because
Vivenna. I should have just sent Vivenna. I don't
Yeah,
know
if
why
you
I
just
said
sent
Ciri.
Vivenna, Ciri might not have gone after her sister like that.
I
Probably
think
not because she was supposed. Vivenna was supposed to go.
Yeah, and
I
then
think
like,
Like
he's panicking more in like the war aspect. I think Falafel's the only one that actually cares.
full.
falafel,
Falafel,
I've
the only
given
one
up
that
on
cares,
her
guys.
name.
faffin,
Fappin.
I can't.
Fappin.
I,
faffin.
Fappin. Yeah, they're fappin. Okay.
Oh God. Oh my gosh. So yeah, so Vivenna then notes that there are soup kitchens in the city. So apparently they do try and take care of like the homeless people a little bit in Halandran and Tutalier. But Tonk Fa, she's seen
I
him
know.
waiting near them, so she's
I
not been
know.
able to even go to the soup kitchens for food. So she's like,
Yep.
what if
hmm?
what if like the Aegean King sent Mob in disguise into the soup kitchens?
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
god.
That'd be great.
The conspiracies.
Yeah. So yeah, Vivenna is specifically
I
like
mean, I do want to meet
starving
Mab
more
again. So
than most people on the streets because she can't even go to the soup kitchen. So she's like extra fucked.
yeah.
But yeah, she also worries that Denth will have people watching the city gates, so she can't even leave to try and go back to Idris. But she says that she doesn't even know if she would survive because she doesn't have supplies, and she can't save money for supplies as she always has to spend her money on food because she's constantly starving. And then a city guard comes up to her and tells her to move because apparently there are rules for beggars for where they can like beg and what times they can beg, but they're not explained, and Vivenna does not know them.
Hmm.
It's just kind of like if you're told to move, you fucking move.
Pretty much.
Um, So what do you think Vivenna can do in this situation, considering Denth and Tonkfa are looking for her and potentially Vasher?
Well, I mean, at this point, I think Vasher's a better option. But
That's what I was thinking while reading. I was like,
I
just
mean,
go
she doesn't
like
back
know
to
that.
even
Vasher.
from her, well, even from her perspective, I feel like Vasher's a better option because Vasher didn't even attempt to kill her, and like left her alone.
Or
He didn't outwardly lie to her either.
he didn't even kill like one of her friends,
Yeah,
which
he's
the other
he's
people
been
did.
straight up
But
like I might kill you, I might not. I've kidnapped
Yeah,
you.
he
Like
hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't
he's
stated
very
anything.
he hasn't lied.
Yeah, exactly. So he's a very good person, somewhat,
Somewhat.
somewhat. I mean,
he's a very good kidnapper.
kidnapping people isn't exactly
So you guys
the
think she should
best.
be looking for
But
Vasher?
yeah, well, I think Vasher need. I think the better option is if Vasher finds her. Not like I
Mm-hmm.
don't think she's. I don't think she would ever want to like look for him specifically, but
To
I definitely think he's a better option if he did find her.
Yeah, to be fair, it's like a group of four trying to find her
Mm-hmm.
versus like
Versus one.
one person. Yeah,
Yeah.
and especially if they hate each other, you might as well go with the person who's
Mm-hmm.
probably gonna
The enemy of your
not.
enemy is your friend.
Yeah,
Yeah. Quick ally.
Um, yeah, so Vivian ends up back in the Idrian area and notes that her accent had given her a place there, even though she hadn't really been recognized. And she's too tired to keep begging, even though it's apparently like a really good time to be begging at the moment. So instead, she looks for a place to spend the night, and she was beginning to learn where the better alleyways were and who not to anger. Apparently, everyone was above her in the pecking order, and apparently, when she had first sold her hair, some of like this gang of street urchins had beaten her up.
Yep.
And so yeah, so she's searching around. Her favorite alleyway is occupied by a group of men doing something illegal, and her second choice was crowded by the gang of urchins that had beaten her previously, so she avoids them. And the third one was empty and beside a bakery, so apparently it gets like nice and warm in the morning when they're heating up the ovens. So she lays down and is asleep in moments. So how do you think living on the streets like this is going to change Vivenna?
Probably make her more humble, and then
I
maybe
mean,
she'll take Vasher's advice and start becoming an awakener.
I don't think that was Vasher's advice. I think that was Dent's
No,
advice.
no, I meant like when Vasher tells her
Oh, I
that
see.
she's gonna have to do so to uh, survive.
also, I like to take note that she did eat trash, so she's definitely humbled.
Oh yeah, she's no longer wearing those pretty dresses.
She's struggle. She's struggling.
She's on that struggle bus right now. She's
Yep.
poor.
She's starving. She's covered in dirt. She's sleeping in alleyways. She's been beaten. She's a
You
drab.
can tell how unused to that
Man, I
life.
feel like this would
Like,
be the best time to have Parlin in her life.
Yep.
I feel like Parlin would be very good at this.
Well, he probably would have helped her just lead the skitty. He's like, we don't need supplies. I can fend for us out in the wild.
Exactly. Exactly. Would have been real good. I mean, if she had learned some things from him.
Yep. Um. So yeah, so that was the final chapter. Some of the overview questions were, who do you think is going to find Vivenna first, Vasher or Denth? Or do you think Vivenna will figure something else out and neither of them will find her?
I think they're both going to find her at the same time.
Ooh.
that'd be crazy.
Yep. I think Vasher, or I think it's going to be shown like Dent and them find her first, and then Vasher's going to show up and fight them or something.
Mm.
And then kind of give her the ultimatum of like it's literally me or them. You need to choose like right now. And then hopefully she chooses Vasher because Vasher didn't kill her goddamn friend.
Yeah, I'm not sure she's going to be
So,
choosing Denth's team if she
yeah,
chooses anyone.
exactly.
It's either
I
going to be
do want to
Vasher or
point.
no one.
I do want to point out that one of the theories that I had was Vasher would like put her in a situation where she would get forced to awaken.
Yeah,
Yep.
you were right about that.
Good. Yep.
She
I'm
got
so proud of
kidnapped and she was forced to awaken a rope to escape.
Also, I definitely think Vasher's gonna find her first.
You think
Yeah.
Vasher's going to find her first?
Because, well, I mean, he's gonna be pissed that she escaped. So,
I mean, yeah, I'm sure he's
Like-
pissed.
yeah. And
I think Nightblood's more pissed
I don't think
because
so.
she rejected him.
Oh
Poor
yeah,
Nightblood.
that would be true. Yeah.
He's like, why doesn't she like me? Everyone likes
Yeah.
me.
Everybody likes me. Yeah.
Um,
Everybody likes me.
so
It's
also,
not like I kill people or anything.
so,
I only kill evil.
Yeah. Okay.
so what do you,
Ow.
Oh, sorry.
so yeah, what do you think is going to happen when Lightsong visits Allmother?
Get the heck out of my temple.
I think it's gonna begin like that, right?
Mhm.
But then I think Lightsong is gonna convince her to get like the commands.
You think he's
Hey
gonna
there,
try and get
Allmother.
Allmother's commands?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think if he
50-50.
does, I think he's gonna keep it for himself.
Yeah, I don't think he's giving it to Blushweaver.
No, there's no way.
So then
He hasn't
Blushweaver would
given
have
his
two and he
own.
would have two?
Yeah, 50-50.
And then, do you think Susebron is going to try and give a note to someone, and if so, who?
I don't think so.
His priest.
Oh god. Siri would be so pissed.
Yep.
He's like, "Hi, priest. I am aware now."
Hey Trellides! Look, I can talk now!
Hey, Trellides, look at how good my handwriting is.
He
And,
puts
by the way, I've been talking to Siri at night.
he puts the little happy face symbol like.
Yeah. He uses like all sorts of like emotes and stuff in his writing. Draws really cutesy faces at the end of every sentence.
There's like hearts on his eyes.
So yeah, do you guys have any other thoughts or anything about these chapters?
Maybe he'll try. Well, maybe he'll actually try contacting like the other gods.
You think he's gonna
Who?
potentially try?
Is that about
Uh,
What do you
Susebron?
think?
Yeah.
Maybe.
What if he sends a letter with Siri?
I mean, yeah,
Cause
possible,
she,
but I feel like Siri wouldn't want that to happen for the sole fact that like it kind of shows that she's talking to him. But
I mean, I
yeah,
guess it would
but I
depend who
mean,
they give it to.
yeah, I was gonna say, what if
I
like
mean,
he gives it to like Light Song?
but who does? I mean, like aside from Light Song, I mean, because I don't even know if she really trusts Light Song with that though.
He's
Like,
the only one she
To,
kind of trusts outside of Susubro.
yeah,
I feel like
because
at this
but
point.
he's
but even
shown
but
her.
even trusting him, she didn't like straight up be like, "Hey, this is why I want the storyteller."
It's true,
She just
yeah.
said, "Hey, can you get a storyteller for me?" And then in his presence was still trying to be very vague with her questions and like what story she wanted to hear.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
to be fair, he's the only one that's stepped up to like try and be friendly and help her. And if you're gonna be in that situation, you're gonna want to take a risk with like the safest option, which is
Well, here's the
him.
thing, right? You just said you would take a risk. I mean, in my opinion, the person with all the connections would be Blushweaver. If
After
But
she
Blushweaver
called her
called
like
her a
a
slut!
smut,
But
like no,
I mean, we're go back onto the enemy of your enemy thing. Like
she is the enemy.
she's not. Maybe she's not though. That's the thing. We've just found out that Dent, Tonkfa, and Jules aren't allies. So like
They're working for
maybe,
the enemy potentially, or they
yeah,
are the enemy, or both.
maybe, yeah. Here's another wild ball theory.
Oh.
Right? Instead of uh wow, Blushweaver, maybe they're taking orders from Lightsong.
Imagine if he has like split personalities.
I mean, you know.
Oh, I never went back to like the Trilities thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, Trilogy's thing. Yeah.
So I thought like, what if they're like connected some way? And
Like
the reason
sun and moon.
why Dev went into the tunnel after Vasher was to try and contact Trilities because he's part of that thing.
Hmm.
It was a perfect opportunity, you know. Vasher was already going in, so what if they're all in on it, like Trilities and then freaking Dev?
They're all in
Hmm.
on it.
Interesting. So you think like Trelidy's dense group and sorry, who did you say was all in together?
Yeah, Trilities and that's great. That's
Mm.
pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you think he's talking to Trellides
I
maybe?
I think he might be. I Okay, so he might not be like the top, like mastermind plan or whatever, but I think he's like one of the reasons they're doing it.
Mm. So you think like they're hired from Trelidy's?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm.
Because I might be
Because
thinking this wrong, right?
no, well,
Who's like refresh me what Trelody does?
Trelidy's is
he's the
Susebron's high priest who was
Yeah.
apparently
So that
potentially involved in cutting out Susebron's tongue.
yeah, so that would make
potential.
sense. Like, why would he want like Vivenna to be around and like more risks for like
I mean,
Susubron and like
I mean, he seems to like barely want Siri to be around.
exactly. That's what I'm
Anyone
saying.
else?
Like, it wouldn't make sense that he's trying to like gatekeep everything.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility.
I want a
Oh,
final. I
yeah, at
want a
this point,
final.
nothing's impossible.
I want a final battle with Blue Fingers and Trilogies.
You
Oh
want that?
god.
I don't know if either of them are fighters. They're both like priest scribe
Exactly.
guys. What kind of
Exactly.
fight
Exactly.
are
It,
they
it
gonna
would be
have?
it would be hilarious. It would be hilarious to watch them try to fight each other. Yeah.
They're like throwing scrolls and stuff at each other.
They're
Interesting.
bad mouthing each other.
Breaking each other's glasses. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so that was episode 9 out of 13. We only got 4 more episodes left, guys.
Oh, I know. Well, technically, me and Darkness only got one episode left. We about to read this
No.
whole story, so
Yeah,
No.
for sure.
No. So, next week you'll be reading chapters 40 through 44, another 5 chapters.
Uh,
What?
that's is that not? Am I tripping? Is that not 4 chapters?
No, because it's 40, 41, 42, 43,
2,
44.
43, and 44. 5.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's
I
5
forgot
chapters.
you're counting like that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got to
Yeah.
count the 0 one
Dark,
as well.
dark,
40.
darkness. Midnight might be short, but she's not short when she comes to math. Okay.
I fucking hate math.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so we're reading another 5 chapters next time. It's very exciting. We're really getting
Cliffhanger?
into things,
Super.
and
What
we
was it,
When's
should.
the
Darden?
Hmm?
cliffhanger thing?
Pardon?
When's the cliffhanger thing?
Um,
When's the one where you have to read it?
Yeah.
Read a
it might
passage or
be
whatever.
next time.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
okay.
Yeah. I was gonna see if you guys forgot about that, but yeah, I'm after you guys read those
No.
5 chapters at the end of next episode, I'm going to live read because it's like a 1 paragraph chapter. I'm gonna live read chapter 45 to you
It's a
guys.
1 paragraph
It's literally a
chapter.
1 paragraph chapter.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm gonna live read that chapter to you guys and get your live reactions to it because it's like the only 1 paragraph chapter.
It's where Siri dies.
Maybe. We'll see.
It's where the God King dies.
Maybe. We'll see.
It's where the Light Song dies.
Maybe. We'll see.
It's where the Avengers show up.
What?
It's where the King of Idris shows up and slaughters everybody.
Maybe it's a Richard chapter. We get 1 paragraph of his point of view.
Oh my God, he took over. He's
It's like,
actually the king hasn't even been alive the last like month.
what if it's like I just slaughtered my father? Where
Oh
are my
my
sisters?
gosh.
Hey, darkness. What if it's instead of Dent killing the people who were coming to like save Vivenna, they were actually coming to murder Vivenna, and like Dent actually saved her
Save her.
Oh my gosh.
Unintentionally or intentionally?
unintentionally, obviously, because they killed fucking
Parlin.
yeah, like come
Parlin was
on, they
actually
killed the
working for
puppy.
Richard this whole time.
Even better, a twist in a twist.
Parlin was actually in love with Richard the whole time.
Oh no!
He had to take Vivenna out now that there was a chance that him and her would be engaged.
Wait, and that's why like that's why they hate colors because they hate the rainbow in Idris, which means like they're against like queer rights, which is why he slaughtered his father and then tried to kill Vivenna.
Exactly.
All right, but yeah, so that's what you guys are reading next time is chapters 40 to 44. So hopefully you will enjoy that.
All right, an hour before next podcast. Got it.
Yeah, like you guys are just reading it the day of, just because you're like, I can't sit there on this.
I can't sit here for a week. I'm so glad
I,
I did it this one because I would
I
not be able to sit here for a week.
I think I would have cried that whole week if I
I think I
didn't.
would have read more.
You can't. But yeah, we'll actually be done this book by the end of the month. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for this episode, and we'll talk again in a week for the next chapters. Look forward
Wait,
to
you
it.
mean you mean you don't want to play with me and any other thing this whole week? Oh man.
No, I'm gonna be streaming other things this week. I'm just saying for the podcast listeners. We'll be back in a
She
week.
doesn't love you, people.
Oh my gosh.
Huh.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.